Hello everyone, my name is Nana Fowaah. I am a wedding planner and events coordinator. In this wedding planning series, I'll be sharing everything there is to know about wedding planning. And before we start, I would like to let you know that this video is in partnership with Golden Kreationz and Century Media. In this episode, I'll be sharing top 10 wedding planning tips and everything there is to know about wedding planning. So stay tuned. Number 1. Set your wedding date. This is one of the most important things you need to have set before you start planning for your wedding day. Now, your wedding date will help to book your vendors. It will help to book all your wedding venues, solidifies everything there is to your wedding day. Because whenever you need to book your caterer, your decorator, they need to know what date you're working with. So it's most important that you know what that is, and try and most importantly stick to that day, please. Because we've had so many clients that all of a sudden last minute they had to change their dates due to unforeseen circumstances sometimes. Number 2, know your wedding budget. Now, creating a wedding budget is something that you can do by yourselves, and there are also the support of wedding planners that actually support you in budgeting towards your wedding day. You can do this by having an Excel spreadsheet where it breaks down everything there is of wedding planning. So these are costs towards your wedding vendors, such as your decorator, your videographer, photographer, and making sure that your wedding venue, knowing the cost towards your MC, your DJ, the food, so the catering services. These are very important. So know your wedding budget, and as most importantly, make sure or try as much as you can to stick to that wedding budget, and a wedding planner can support you with that. Number 3, get a wedding planner. Now, this may sound very biased because I am a wedding planner myself. However, the reason why we have wedding planners is because they know the ins and outs of the industry, and they know how to get you the best of the best out there in terms of your vendors, and also making sure that we get the best venues for you. And so a wedding is not something to trial and error with. It is a project, actually. So you need people that have experience and have the skills to be able to plan your wedding day successfully. And of course, a wedding day, most likely you've never planned one before. So if you leave it to the experts to, plan your wedding day, you'll be stress-free. And I think that is the best thing to do, because weddings are very stressful, trust me. And you will understand when you get started. And the other thing to note is that with wedding planning, having family and friends, trust me, they can really disappoint you. And this is the thing that people tend to really, especially in the Ghanaian community, we tend to rely too much on friends and family that make promises, but unfortunately it's sad to say that the opposite actually happens on the day of your wedding, because you don't even get to see who does what, and the wedding planners are the ones to know what goes behind the scenes. And so I'm not saying that every family member or friends are not to be trusted. However, they are there to also enjoy the day, and your wedding day is not always their priority. So please get a wedding planner that knows what they're doing, that is not so much of a familiar face, and that helps making sure that the work is done and done correctly in a timely fashion. Number 4, get a vision board. Now, a vision board is something that brings to life what your expectations are of your wedding day. So your vision is, perhaps you want your wedding to be an elegant wedding, or romantic feel, or it to be a tropical feel or rustic feel. Whatever you're going with, it is important that you know what you want your day to look like and feel like. And that would help to inform the decorators, the videographers, the photographers, to the angle in which you want us to work for or work towards. And so it's important that you know what the vision is for your day. And the best person that would know this is you and your husband to be. So it's important that you know what the vision is, and that will help inform the vendors in what direction they should work for you. Number 5, book your wedding venues. Now, this is very important that you book these as soon as possible. As soon as you get that date, the next thing really is to just book those wedding venues as soon as possible. The reason why is because you want to make sure that especially depending on what date you're choosing, especially if it is a Saturday, which is high in demand, you would want to book that wedding venue as quick as possible, because trust me, a lot of people are after that date perhaps. And so if you can book this well in advance, ideally a year in advance, that would be fantastic. But in our community, I find that a lot of people seem to be planning towards their wedding day as matters of a few months. And so I would recommend you to book those venues as soon as possible, because everyone else is also getting married and it's not just you. So please make sure that you book those wedding venues in advance, and also booking it early actually secures that date, and also you can lock in the price at a much more affordable price when you book it well in advance, at least a year, as a good guide for you. And the sooner you do that, the better, so that you are set with the place you're going to have your church ceremony, or say your wedding reception venue as well. So make sure you get those booked as soon as possible. Number 6, book your wedding vendors. Now, wedding vendors are the people that will be working for you. So I'm talking your photographers, videographers, your decorator, your caterer, your makeup and hairstylist. So these are the people that you'd want to lock down as soon as possible. So this is how you can save money towards your big day, because the sooner you book them, you can actually lock cheaper prices, because every year every vendor would increase their prices. So if you book it well in advance, say a year in advance, that would allow you to have your vendor booked at a much affordable rate than the following year, where it's getting too close to your wedding date. So I will not recommend that you book them that late, and this is why it's more expensive than it should be. Okay. And also booking your wedding vendors in advance helps you to plan financially as well, because you can set payment plans with these vendors, and then it basically makes things clearer for you in terms of managing your money as well towards this big day. Number 7, choose your bridal party. Once you are engaged or you're planning towards your wedding day, please choose your bridal party wisely. Choose the right people for your bridal party. I say this with emphasis because I have seen a lot. And behind the scenes, we get to see those who are really there for the bride or the groom, and those who are just there to really have fun. Yes, we are there to have fun, but at the end of the day, we need to focus on the couple and give them the time and the patience and the focus, so that we don't divert from what we're there to do. And sometimes bridal parties can really be a distraction to the bride and the groom, but rather pick people that would work with you, that would be committed to the task ahead, and don't become a burden. It's sad to say that sometimes you find bridal parties where they really don't care that much, and that is the sad reality. So please choose them wisely. If you are someone that hasn't got many friends, or family members that could be part of your bridal party. There's no shame in having one maid of honor and one best man and no other person in your bridal party if you wish to do that. So please choose what would benefit you and go with that, because there's no pressure to have more than 10 people in your bridal party for it to be called a bridal party. Okay, so please note that. Number 8, get your wedding outfits ready. Now for wedding dresses, it can take as a minimum 6 months to get your wedding dress done and alterations done and everything else, because sometimes your size may not be available in the bridal shops, so that needs ordering, and most of the times it's not actually from the country where you're based. And so for that reason, we always say for a minimum 6 months, but ideally if you do this well in advance, like a year, it's even better, because you could actually leave your wedding dress at the store until very closer to your wedding date, and then decide to have the wedding dress taken to your hotel, for example, just say that a few days leading up to your wedding date. So you can actually track the progress in case if you're trying to lose weight as well. So please make sure that you get those wedding outfits done. And also sometimes people in our community as well tend to go for wedding outfits that are not being made in the country that they stay. So it's important that you actually go to that country where it's being made to fit. So making sure that, you know, it's correct, it's in terms of your size, and that the fit is perfect for you. So make sure that you go and check that out. Some people really take the risk of getting it posted from one country to the other. Yes, you could do that, but when it comes to your wedding dress itself, I find that very risky. But you can go for that if you have no other option. But ideally, go and try it out so that they can do any alterations needed on the dresses. You can do this for your second or third outfit if that's what you're looking to do, which is less risky because it's not the most important dress for the day. But please don't take the risk of doing that. And for the men, it goes the same as well. So get them ready well in advance. Number 9, send out the wedding invitations and save the date. Now, wedding invitations back in the time used to be done on paper, hard copies. Nowadays, we're in a digital age, so you could actually just send e-invitations or electronic invitations to people. So you can save cost on printing them out and having to send it across to people. And that is so much more of an effort to do if you look at how easy it is to just send someone a digital invitation. And you can save money by doing that, okay? Who doesn't want to save money? Number 10. Book your honeymoon. Now, if you book your honeymoon as early as possible, as with everything to do with wedding planning, you can save costs there as well. Now, honeymoon seem to be forgotten, like it's like least priority on our list sometimes, but please be reminded to book that honeymoon, because that is where you continue the fun from after the wedding day, and that is just you and your spouse, for both of you to enjoy. So please do not forget that off your list and book it in time so that you can get the best deals. Usually go for the holiday packages that includes accommodation, flights, and food as well. Try not to exclude food, because food does cost money when you go to other locations. So if you can get a deal that includes all 3 parts of this in one, you would save a lot of money. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in another episode. But before then, please do well to subscribe, share, like, and comment so that we can have so much learning from this. And also, if there's any other tips that other brides in the past have, or grooms as well, please feel free to drop it down below so that we can have dialogue and then also learn from each other. And also share this video to those who are planning currently or have recently been engaged. This, I believe, would be of great benefit to you. Take care.